today we are going to be responding to your guys' biggest struggles in real estate. So what we did was we asked a question over on the community page on our YouTube channel, on this YouTube channel. We asked, what is your biggest struggle in real estate? And you guys gave us your responses. So we're just going to go down the list and read off your responses and then maybe give our opinion if we can relate. Yeah. Any advice, whatever we have to say.
I think this is like a topic a lot of people, want to stay away from, because self-promotion is something in this business as a real estate broker. You never want to say, oh man, I'm just not doing good, because then you think your audience or whoever you're talking to at the time, it could be at the grocery store, just doesn't think you're good or doesn't think you have enough business. So maybe you're not qualified enough.
Yeah.
So this is a touchy subject, but what I can say is there are struggles in real estate. Real estate is a hard game. It's a hard business to be in. And unless you've been there, done that, you really don't know what to expect. Yeah. And it could be a struggle just getting your license. But after you get your license, it's like dwiddling your thumbs. What do you do? So I'm curious what the audience has to say.
I know, me too. I haven't even looked at these yet, but I know a lot of them I'm sure we're going to be able to relate to as well. Yeah. And I also know a lot of our audience are people who are real estate agents already. A lot of our audience are that I've chatted with are people who aren't even in real estate. Maybe you're in another type of sales business or whatever. And then a lot of our audience are people who aren't realtors, but they want to be. And so maybe this can help you if you're someone who's thinking about getting into the business and you stumbled upon this video. Maybe this can give you a little clarity as to what it's actually like and maybe if it's for you or not. So without further ado, I'm just going to start at the first and go down. We'll see how many we get through. I don't think
what
we'll
I
get
do
through all
want
of
to
them.
do though, by the end of this show, we're going to read off some struggles that have been left in the comments. But I do want to list off one struggle from the both of us. Okay. Just so we can give a personal testimony of struggle. Maybe it's current. Maybe it's when we first got in the business.
Okay. We'll do that. So stay tuned till the end. You don't want to miss anything. Okay. Whew. Okay.
Put the pressure on Mariah.
The pressure is on because this is our daughter's napping and we have a lot of videos to make. Okay. So the first struggle you guys said, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to read through. I usually like to give you guys shout outs. I'm not going to read through the names because we're trying to be a little snappy here. So, first struggle is figuring out what activities I actually like to do for lead gen. So yeah, I think when you're starting out, the way I like to put it is there's so many things you can do. And I really do believe that they all work. I'm someone who always says I hate open houses. They're bad business plan, not part of my business plan. Don't want anything to do with them. However, there are obviously tons of agents who open houses is their number one business plan and it works, but they like it. And whenever I've done them, they've sucked because I didn't want to be there. I didn't like it. It's just not for me. It's not how I want to get business. So that is a struggle though. The beginning is finding what works for you. But that's the beautiful thing about this business is you don't have to run it one way. There's so many ways to do it. My business looks, the way that I run my business now looks like a whole different world than it did back in the day when I was driving from house to house, cold calling and door knocking, which I loved that. But now for the point I'm at in life, wanting to not be doing that this time, the video content strategy and all of that, those things that we do, it literally is a different job. Instead of being a door knocker, I'm a content creator, and that's how we get our business. So all this to say, kind of rambling now, but all this to say, there's so many ways to get business, and I would encourage you to try them all until you find one that works for you and then stick with it.
That's great advice. I would say the hardest thing when first starting off, but also figuring out what works, is being that organized guy like I am. There has to be structure in a lot of businesses. And if you're doing 5, 7, 8 different ways of prospecting, the hardest part is to categorize and generate leads, but also categorize your leads that you're saying that contact was good, that contact was bad. What I did there got 0 response. So the organizing of contacts, I would say, would be one of the biggest struggles when you're expanding your way of prospecting. So that's why I really like just 3 great methods. Yeah. Now, something recently, and this is recent, I have had to change the way I prospect in a few ways. Just recently, I noticed I wasn't getting the business I used to doing a certain method of prospecting. So what did I do? I dropped it. I dropped that method, and I ended up doing a different one, which is now directly driving to the properties, introducing myself if they're home. If they're not home, I make sure I have something in my hand. I always make sure I have something in my hand regardless. If I drive out to a property, I don't just want to show my face. I want to show them something that they can tangibly feel and hang me on the fridge. That's my last statement I always use to them. So make sure you're making that contact worth it. And if they don't open the door, make sure you're making a contact at the front door and leaving them something with surprise.
That's good. Leave something with your information on it, because it's a touch. Okay, so the next struggle is 4 months in, and I'm still not knowing if I'm on the right track. I don't know how to market on social media, so that's another struggle.
Okay, one suggestion I do have. If you're looking to fully and only market on social media, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of agents in our area specifically. That's all they do.
Yes.
We're working on that, honestly, on social media and our platforms. But I do know there's resources available, whether it's conventions, whether it's an online site that you want to buy subscriptions from, or it could be as simple as going down to your local title company and talking to their rep. A lot of title companies now understand social media and the power behind it.
That's true.
And the reason they have a rep is because they want you to use them as their title company to close transactions. So they're going to give you this free resource to help you be successful in your business so you can drive them more business. So if you haven't gone to your title company yet, go there. Ask if they have some type of rep that helps with social media, and get in touch with them and schedule the appointment and consult with them. Because in the end, their goal is to help you get more business so you can get them more business.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good advice.
And it's free.
I would say, do something like that. Reach out to somebody who can help you, like your title rep, or there's so much information out there online. Go back to our channel, watch all of our videos on this topic. We have a lot of them recently that have either come out or will be coming out soon. So subscribe and hit the notification bell. Shameless plug. There's so much, like even investing in a course. I can link this down below. I have a course that another realtor has made, but basically she's breaking it down into like very simple terms, showing you step by step how to.
I love that.
It's mainly YouTube focused, but how to get business from YouTube and generate leads from that. But all of it can be applied to. She does talk about a little bit how she uses it also for other social medias, and I think that when you have like a practical course in front of you, you paid for it, so you're like, this is holding me accountable. I spent the money on it, so I better be using it, better be applying it. It can be really powerful to just sit down and then do what the teacher says. Like what she says in the videos, just do it, and you'll succeed because it's a proven method. And if anyone does want to purchase or check out that course that I'm talking about here, like YouTube marketing for realtors, something like that, I'll link it in the description. And if you use my code Mariah10, you can get a 10% off that. So, quick little plug there, but I only talk about things and things that I really do believe can help grow your business that I've had the opportunity to use myself. I'm not just gonna
That's great.
Tell you guys something. But anyway, yes, there's so much resources, but I do say the last thing I'll say about this, about growing your business with social media, it is a real thing. It can bring you so much business and so much money, and it is like literally where things are at in 2023. I think there's so much money in that right now. And if you are somebody who is a realtor, you're now a media company, or you need to be. But the last thing I'll say about that is, sorry to cut you off.
No. I love this topic because this is new to our business and our industry.
Yeah, it is.
What she is saying is happening.
It is.
And she's one of the first to get on it. Okay. So in our area, especially, she's just blowing our minds.
YouTube, the way that I do it specifically. But anyway, so the last thing I'll say is that, so it does work. Social media for your business absolutely can bring you the best leads ever. However, I think it's a little more long-term. I think it's something that you really, really, really have to be consistent at before you see results. And it's a little different than if you're like, okay, I just got my license, I need to make money like right now to pay my bills. Yeah. Then you might need to do some like cold for sale by owner, expired listings, maybe open houses, like right now things
open houses.
Yeah, people that are looking right now, and then while continuing to do the social media, and then once you get a consistent flow, you don't have to do the other stuff as much. So anyway, okay,
that's good though.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yes.
She didn't really talk much about it, but what I loved is that we're a marketing company. We are a media company now as brokers. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, when I said my job description has changed from like the way we used to run our business, like I really mean it.
You should put that on your social media accounts. I'm a media manager.
I'm a media, or what Kanye says. I'm not a businessman. I am a businessman. It's true. You literally have to be. Okay, so anyway.
I love it. Shout out to Kanye.
Okay. The balance of working on and in my business. Once I get busy with contracts, I slip up on prospecting for future business.
Wow.
We were just talking about how you did that. You literally
100%.
we're talking about that. Like that's literally him right now. But yeah. It's true. But
it's a big boo-boo.
Yeah.
And it happens to the best of us.
And for us, like prospecting, I feel like it used to be a thing of like every day, this is what you're doing. And now it's a little bit more like leads come in from like social media, YouTube, other things, referral, whatever. But then once you if you do get to a point where you're like, I don't have as much pipeline as I want to, or as I'm used to, then that's where you go out and like do a little prospecting. It's not like consistently every day, every week, that type of thing, which is awesome.
Because you got to understand your workload too.
Yeah.
And when you have enough escrows and you're like, I can't handle anymore, like you realize you're not being a good broker in the service industry, because I revert our business often as the service we provide for our clients. So if we don't have that utmost service, that we're forgetting the little things, man, that must mean my workload is a little overloaded right now. And I need to take more and pay more attention to my current clients and my current prospects rather than going and getting new things. Because if I'm not managing what's in front of me, I simply cannot manage what's in the future as well.
Yeah. And one thing that helps me stay consistent, and I'll just use what I do as an example, but you can take this and nugget and apply it to whatever type of prospecting it is that you're doing if you're not doing video. But for me, one thing that keeps me consistent with prospecting is my prospecting is now creating video content. So I have that in my calendar every single week. I know what day I'm going to be filming, and I know how often I'm going to be uploading on each different channel and all of that. And so knowing that, and even just having it like scheduled out, like for example, on our Oregon Homes channel that we get a lot of business from, I already have the next like 2 weeks. I have 3 videos a week going out on that channel. The next 2 weeks are already scheduled. So I get ahead when I can. And then if things get busy and I don't quite have the time, they're already scheduled to go out. And so that's the beautiful thing though also about like video content is you can be consistent easier, if that makes sense. Okay. Next problem, finding a mentor, getting on the phone / accountability. I think that's hard
I think it's hard, but here's why. When you're new in the business, you're like broke sometimes. You might already have other obligations, other responsibilities you got to be paying for. And oftentimes when you're looking for a mentor or you're looking for somebody to hold you accountable, that costs money. But it doesn't have to. It really doesn't have to. And here's why. If your brokerage is a good brokerage and really wants you to succeed, and that's part of interviewing at different brokerages and seeing what works for you and what doesn't work for you, realtors is who I'm talking to right now, they should have a pretty good training program. They should really have a really good accountability program. They should have something to put you in a group that somebody's messaging, checking in on you. Your principal broker at the least should be sending you messages weekly saying, hey, are we getting this done? And be honest, be open with them, because if you're not, then you are going to remain where you're currently at. And the whole goal to that question, I thought, is accountability. That's the key word. So if nobody is holding you accountable and you're saying, oh, I'm broke, I can't afford a coach, I can't afford a partner, well, let's promote ourselves, but maybe go to the right brokerage and see what best works for you, because there are differences in different brokerages.
Yeah, that's totally true. If you're starting out and your brokerage doesn't have, because like at this point in our career, I don't really care to have like a mentor type principal broker type thing. Not because like we know it all or, don't need advice ever, but we definitely, our business is just in a different spot. It's a lot more turnkey now and things are flowing. But when we were new, my principal broker, I met with her like every single week. I got so much advice constantly, was asking questions, was helping me out of pickles, all of that stuff. And so And that's one of the reasons why I chose my brokerage, was having that support. And there were other brokerages I was looking at that didn't offer that, if that makes sense. Like, they just didn't have, their principal brokers were too busy, or they didn't make the time to meet with their agents and pour into them like that.
Yeah.
So that could be the difference in you finding a mentor could simply be going to a different brokerage that has that. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to do one more here, because a lot of them are like repeat and
Okay.
we're running
Yeah,
the
I'm
one
fine
time.
with
But this next one is just as getting started. Yeah. So this is the kind of thing
Getting started.
So the biggest thing in real estate, and this also applies to just like video marketing in general, is you have to start before you're ready. Like, you really just have to start. You can't wait until you feel like you have it figured out, or you feel like you know what you're doing, because the thing is, you really like have to learn on the go. Like, you can't learn. You can do research ahead of time. You can prepare yourself. But at the end of the day, I don't think anyone is ever going to feel equipped to go into a listing appointment and give a presentation if they've never done it before. Even if they've done all their research, like, you're still going to feel like, I'm not ready, I can't start. You have to just do it. Be nervous, do it anyway. Go on as many of those as you can until you start feeling, ready.
I personally love those nerves. I love, like yesterday, I had 2 listing appointments straight off in the morning. They were like an hour drive apart. And I just really loved showing up to this random house. I cold called prospect to. I've been following up over the last month and a half, working on 2 months. That's a long time talking to somebody. And oftentimes, no replies. But finally, they gave me a reply, scheduled the appointment. So I had 2 appointments yesterday, and I'm nervous like the whole time. And it's an early appointment too, more early than usual. And I mean, I'm like, man, what am I going to say? And sometimes you don't know what to say. That's the cool part. You go wherever the conversation leads. And the key is, yes, know your numbers, know recent sales, know the past sales, know your stuff. Like, hey, that unit's for sale. You better know what that sales price is, and it's listed right now. So know that, because you're the professional. Don't ask the seller, hey, do you know what that one's for sale for? Oh, I'm trying to price your home accordingly. Yeah. No, walk into the appointment. You're the professional. You know your numbers. It's your fault if you don't. That's not preparing.
Yeah, but okay, keep going. I was about to jump in.
But my advice was go with the conversation. Yeah. Sometimes it's not even about real estate. You're just sitting on a couch. The seller was making cookies.
Yesterday.
She ended up feeding me 5 of these.
Oh, she could have poisoned you.
I know. But they were I trust her. They were gluten-free, sugar-free, amazing cookies. I don't even know what type of cookies they were. I knew there was cinnamon on them. And I was like, "What? This is terrific." And I mentioned Mariah, and that's where the conversation went. And there was a sign of trust there. And vulnerability, honestly. Like, I kind of let my guard down. I'm the professional. I'm in my suit. Got my name tag on. But I'm eating cookies with this lady.
Or like, you're drinking a cup of coffee. Exactly. They made you. Like, it's always that, like,
you let it happen.
But,
you let it happen. And that's just part of getting to know each other, because this is a working relationship at the end of the day. When you list homes, you have to have great communication with your clients. That's that service part that I love referring to.
No, that's all really good. I love what you had to say. Yeah. The only thing I would add is, like you were talking about, say you don't know, you need to know, which is true. I agree with you. You need to know, like, say you're listing a condo, you need to know like what the other ones sell for. Don't let the seller, don't ask the seller. But I would even say, if you don't know, still go. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Yeah. Like, go even if you think you're going to suck at the listing appointment. And like, what's the worst it's going to happen?
You got to learn.
You have an interview, and just keep going back and keep doing it. And who cares if like you look dumb in front of that seller that you'll never see again? And really, who cares? Like,
that's the reality. I love that.
That's how you get better. That's how I got better. I sucked so bad at first. And it just takes a lot of just keep going at it, keep trying, and yeah. Anyway, all right. So thank you so much for watching.
No story time. She cut us off.
What?
You see that?
Oh, did you have a story?
No, we were both going to share a struggle.
Oh, do you
in our real estate
do
careers?
That? Okay.
I think our audience needs to hear one. It could be short and sweet. Do it.
Well, I need to think. I don't know
think,
it off the top of my head.
Think while I share a struggle.
I want to listen to you. I don't want to think while you.
I'm going to just go
share.
simple.
Okay.
I'm going to go simple.
Okay.
And it comes down to when you're on top of the world. When you're on top of the world, you just made a $2 million month in real estate. In our area, that's pretty good. So do you quit working after you make all that money? Do you go on vacation and let all your listings dry up and now your pipeline's down?
Yes.
Well, it's not a constant battle, but it does happen every so often. And if you're an agent out there and that's happened to you, you know what it's like to lay down pipe again. You got to go back in the trench. You got to make calls. You got to door knock because it's your fault and you let your pipeline get back down to zero or close to it. Because if we don't have cash flow, we don't got a good business. So one of the biggest struggles I had in my real estate career is having really big months and then letting those really big months turn into small months and then getting another big month and then a small month. So it's always this constant wave. It's like that stock market, up and down, up and down. My advice is let's keep it consistent. Let's keep a consistent pipeline and consistency with escrows. And the only way to do that I found is know your goals month to month.
That's really good.
Know what day of the month it is. If you're not there yet, you need to work and put more hours in it. It might suck, but that's the way it is.
Okay, you ready to hear mine?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is something I never struggled with before, but this is my biggest struggle like lately has been feeling like an imposter. And what I mean by that is, so when I started my business, my day was like going from house to house. I was, dressed professional every day. I was in the office all the time. I was at every meeting. I worked a lot and I loved it, but my business just looked so different. I sold a lot more houses than I do now, actually, even though I made less money. But I did always have, a lot more listings than I do right now. And then when things change, the way that I run my business now looks so different, which I'm so thankful for. It's the biggest blessing in the whole world. And I love it so much. And I love like where our business is at and the fact that we're able to live our life and run our business this way, but feeling like an imposter because although like something I remind myself of is, the numbers are there. Like I make enough money to be an expert, like I make a really great living in real estate, even though, so that's what I remind myself of. But if you look at my life, I'm at the park a lot. I'm wearing like I'm literally wearing leggings right now, or like I feel, like my shirt is dirty. Like
which
I'm
emotionally can
because
change.
I'm a mom. Yes, but also my day just looks different. Yeah. I'm driving in a car with a toddler. I don't feel like as much of a professional, although that's how I want it and I love it. I feel like an imposter sometimes, even though I've been in the business for so long. I have the numbers to prove the numbers as far as like I'm not. Yeah, like I said, I'm not selling as many houses, but I make a really great living at this.
It's the type of houses.
It's just it's the type of houses, but it's also I work way less, and so that's another thing. But I don't. But that's the whole thing. That's the goal. Like that's what we were working towards is being able to do this. But then feeling like an imposter because my life looks different than it used to, and so. I don't know. You know what I mean?
The key switch, though,
I feel like it's a thing that happens to when you're like a mom, though, in real estate.
When you're in the field, you're seeing everything. You're seeing the good, the bad, the ugly. When you're only in the field for 2 hours out of a week just to get what's needed to be done, you're not seeing the good, bad, ugly. You're only seeing that one listing. So maybe you feel like you're out of the market, even though you're completely in it. The difference is, I think, from right now, from where you were, is you used to be anything and everything. You'd go all the way to Cresswell.
Oh,
she'd drive 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Mariah's now set boundaries. She's now set limits.
Yeah.
She knows what type of properties she sells, she buys.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Right.
That's a really good thing.
Our clients are happy. My clients are way happier with me now than they were back when I was 18 and didn't know what I was doing. Like I'm, we have happy clients, like great, like things are really good in our business. And this is what I want. It's just that feeling of, like, I'm on the phone with my client, but I'm really wearing like slippers right now. But that's okay because that's working it's awesome. It's amazing. It's just that feeling. But
no, that's good. Thank you for being vulnerable. I love that though. I love that because we are in a new era. That wasn't real before 2020 when we all got hidden away in our homes and we were able to work. Now we're able to work from home often.
Honestly though, 2020 was the best thing that ever happened to my business because that's what got me into
it's changed lives.
One, making more video content and stumbling upon the right kind that brought me clients. And then two, just like having relocation clients, like people were started really moving, which is amazing. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
If you related to any of these things, comment below. We want to hear about it. And if you have your biggest struggle, comment below. We want to hear about it. Like we always say, we love this channel because we love the community that we have on here with you guys. If you're an agent in another area and you have a client moving to Oregon, send them our way. We'd love to give you a referral fee. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys soon.